everybody, it's Marie from Pear Tree Paper Crafts. I'm back today with a 12 by 12 process video for you. This one is for Spiegelmom Scraps, so it does class as an advertisement. I'm using the new October sequin mixers for this layout, specifically the whiteout mix, because when I saw it, immediately thought of snow and decided to make a shaker pocket in the form of a snow globe. So I used the Silhouette Design Studio to create a snow globe. Cut file, cut it out, and then I've just stuck a photograph there of myself and my son down onto the backing part of this snow globe cut file, and trimmed around it into a circle because I want us actually in the snow globe as part of the layout. I'm just popping some adhesive foam there on to the bottom part to prop up the bottom bit, because in a little while I'm going to put adhesive foam around the edge of that snow globe in order to give that spacing to allow the sequins to have a place in the middle. So I'm just popping a little bit of blue cardstock on the back of the bottom part there of the snow globe cut file. And then I'm just going to go around this edge now of the top part and stick it to a sheet of acetate. Just press it down really gently, give it a couple of seconds to dry, and then I'm going to cut round that as well. Just making sure it's dry first before I start cutting, and that gives the front part of the shaker pocket. And then what I'm going to do is just turn it over, and then I'm going to go around the edge of the top part, the part that's going to be the shaker pocket, with these little thin strips of adhesive foam right around the edge there. So I cut them very, very fine, and because they're fine, they're very flexible and you can move them around, and just making sure there are no gaps so that none of the sequins fall out when I do put them on. And then go around that again with some fine liner glue. I always spread it out with my finger afterwards just to make sure there's no big lumps everywhere. Put loads of those sequins onto the top of the shaker pocket, and then basically stick it all together and you have a shaker pocket. I think off camera I did pop it under something a little bit heavy, just to make sure that everything stuck. So I'm now taking a piece of white cardstock, popping white gesso all over the back of it, because I'm going to create a mixed media background for my layout. So I'm using some Crafters Workshop light and fluffy modelling paste here, and all I've done is I've taken a piece of mylar, which is like stencil material, and I've used a snowflake punch, and I've simply punched one snowflake out of it, and I'm using it as a mini stencil, just going all over the page in a sort of a diagonal strip. I know you can't really see it there, but it's kind of goes diagonally across the page, and I'm just kind of overlapping them. Some of them are quite messy. I didn't want them to be perfect because the background's not going to be a pristine background. It's going to be all mixed media, so I'm quite happy that some of them aren't perfect, and in fact I wanted little pieces as well. So just do them in a diagonal swathe going across, and then I'm just going to stick 3 more little of the snowflake stencils that come in that whiteout mix on the bottom there of that snow globe. I decided I wanted a torn edge of paper, so I decided I wanted to use that snowflakey paper. And so the first thing I do here is wet where I'm going to be placing my watercolours, and then I just use lots of different blues, kind of drop them on in different ways, mix them in, let them run. Putting water on first means there's somewhere for the paint to run to, and it doesn't end up looking forced or blobbed on. It kind of just runs and spreads itself with the page already being wet, and that's the beauty of the gesso, it allows that paint to move around. So I'm just doing lots of splatters, all different colours of blues, starting with the lighter one, getting darker and darker, and then I kind of move it all around, let the paint run around a little bit. I then decide that the colour blue is not quite the right colour, so I dab some of it off the page, because again gesso stops it drying, and I go for more darker colours just because I think it's more striking and it stands out a bit better. So I'm mainly dropping the colour in the centre of that snowflake, and then the colour seems to sort of spread out on its own from that area. So I do big blobs, I do little splatters, all different bits, and I'm really happy with how that's looking. But I'm not happy with that piece of paper that I chose. It just wasn't dark enough. I wanted something bolder, something stronger. So I got this spotty paper out from Perfect Winter collection by Echo Park, and I'm much happier with that. So again, I tear the edge of it, just pop it off to one side while this dries, and then I'm just going to trim it down a little bit, and then that's going to be stuck there. Much happier with that. It seems to match in better with my son's coat and with the bottom of that snow globe shaker pocket that I've made. So just double-sided sticky tape on that one, stick it down, flatten the sheet out, and that's where my shaker pocket's going to go. I'm using that perspective there from Bramble Fox as my title, Make Great Memories. And then from the same collection, that Echo Park A Perfect Winter, I'm just picking out some of the bits of ephemera that fit really nicely. I've gone with lots of little circles of snowflake images, because that seemed to fit with what I've done on my background there. And then that sticker seemed to curve around the top of my snow globe perfectly. Just finding more cardstock stickers there that are just being popped on at in different places. And now I'm just cutting some adhesive foam to prop up the different elements that I'm going to be sticking on. So that one that goes up in the corner there with all those lovely words on gets propped up on some foam. And then I don't prop up the snow shaker pocket because it's already quite thick with having those sequins in. Don't worry, I do shake it in a little while and uncover my face. But I wanted it to feel like a proper snow globe. And I think that really worked. So just taking my glue now, my fine liner glue, and sticking down that perspective and lots of the other little bits and pieces. Some of the cardstock stickers I find don't always stick very well, and you often have to put extra glue on them. So just to make sure they're going to stick, I pop an extra bit of glue on all of them. A few more stickers, a little polar bear going in at the bottom there just because he looks so cute. And then I'm using my glossy accents to stick down some extra ones of those sequins. And then I also do pick out some sequins from the I Dream of Sequins mix, some of the silver ones, just because they fit again so well with the layout. And that's about it from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching, and don't forget to use my code MarieH15 in the shop for 15% off anything you buy. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.